Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's Pick a Card reading is going to be the final reading in our Rest of 2025 series. We have already done general predictions for the rest of 2025 as well as predictions for your love life. I'll have those linked down below if you haven't checked them out yet and you would like to. But today is going to be all about your career. So we are going to be looking at what is unfolding in your career from right now, whenever you happen to be watching this, until December 31st, 2025. There are 3 groups for you to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have orange calcite. For my group number 2s, we have Angelite. And for my group number 3s, we have Bumblebee Jasper. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the orange calcite, this is going to be a reading all about what is unfolding in your career from right now, the time that you are watching this, until the very end of 2025. So we're going to start off with some oracle cards plus 1 tarot card here, and then we're going to dive into the tarot cards after. Yeah, so let's get into it. Your first card is Moon Memories, the past. Then we have the 2 of Wands, charting a course. Decisions, discovery, future planning, envision the future, consider options, opportunity, get ready. We have Moon Mercury. Okay, so with this card, it is actually supposed to be Moon Mercury, like it's written, but they made a mistake and put the Mars symbol here instead of Mercury. But yeah, it's Moon Mercury. But with that in mind, maybe there's a message there to do some extra proofreading. Like if you're gonna be submitting an important document or publishing something or sending a very important email, make sure that you check it over for mistakes. Maybe even have somebody else look at it to make sure, because sometimes when you look at it over and over again, your own eyes stop seeing the mistake. Yeah, okay, so then we have Hagalas. And finally, we have Owl. Good advice from a wise person. Okay, there is something that is coming to my mind here. But, okay, I'm just gonna go in order. We'll talk about it all. There's a lot coming through at the same time. I feel like for my group number 1s, of course, this is a reading about career, so we're gonna talk about your career, but that may in fact be one of the areas of your life that is the most important to you or is taking up the most space in your head for the rest of 2025. You could be very busy at work or just thinking a lot about what it is that you want to do. I think that's what it is for a lot of you with this 2 of Wands, charting a course. Future planning, envision the future. This Mars and Aries energy, it feels like an energy of someone who wants to get their shit together. And I don't mean this in the sense of like you've been disorganized or you've been lazy or anything, but like I want to start really making my goals a reality. It's like a fire has been lit under you to do that. With the past here, you could be looking to the past for more insights about what it is that you want to do in the future. And in fact, that may be a piece of advice for you. Like taking stock of your past experiences, what you liked, what you didn't like, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. That could give you valuable data points to help you chart like where it is you want to go in the future. Some of you could be reviving a past dream. reviving a past goal of yours and giving it another shot, but this time with more clarity and more of a deliberate strategy and more confidence. You are more mature now. So when you do things over, it's going to have a different outcome. You are also, this is just a time where you're very action oriented. Like when you have an idea, you are going to set it into motion. When you think that you want to do something, you're going to do it. That is something else that actually came to my mind with, it's like this was meant to be Mercury, but it's Mars. The Mercury got turned into Mars. So it's like, as soon as you have a thought, you're already doing it. You're already setting it into motion. That's a very Aries quality as well. I don't know if you guys have Aries placements, but it's that like, I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna just do it. I'm not gonna overthink it. 444 as I'm saying this. Let's make it happen. There is a little bit of a warning message here about doing things impulsively or doing things in an all or nothing way, or trying to, for example, change a habit overnight or stop something cold turkey. Like, it will be better. I know you're very eager to set your goals into motion, but it will be better to do so incrementally. It will be better to take smaller, more actionable steps. It will be more sustainable. I feel like my group number ones, you're like really, really excited to get the ball rolling and to make changes, which is amazing. Some of you may be feeling anxious about it, like, I should have started this ages ago and I'm behind my schedule and I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of not taking action towards my dreams, and trying to like overcompensate for what you might perceive as lost or wasted time by like doing a lot, like trying to do a lot at once or trying to make really big changes really fast. And I feel like there may be someone around you who is advising you to like slow down or take a more moderate approach. It's kind of giving me temperance vibes, like a presence around you who's kind of helping to balance you out. And I'm thinking of a story that I've definitely told before, but I did not like going to university. Like, I did not enjoy it at all. And I was like, I'm going to drop out. I'm going to quit. And my mom told me, I know you don't like it. I know you have 2 more years to go. And I know that feels like forever, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not a long time. And you're going to be glad in the long run that you finished and got your degree. And she was right, because I may have not used my degree to get a job, but I wouldn't be able to live in Japan if I didn't have it. And to think that my future could have been messed up because I impulsively made a decision to like completely throw something away or make a really big change like that. It's like, thank goodness I had the wise voice of my mother. It really helped me out in the long run. And this is not to say some hard and fast rule like you can't quit something or you can't walk away from something. I think it's just a piece of advice to give a bit of extra thought or to give thorough thought if you are going to make a major transition. Is there a way that you can do so in a more moderate way? For example, I didn't drop out of university, but I did take breaks. Like, I took a semester off. I did like online classes part-time to make it more manageable. Like, is there a way that you can ease into the change that you want to make? Or is there a way that you can do something more gradually so that it's not as overwhelming? I think there's a piece of advice of avoiding like suddenly cutting something off or suddenly doing a 180 or just trying to do something really big all at once, especially if it's coming from a place of like, I've wasted so much time, I'm falling so far behind, like I have to do this big crazy change to catch up to where I'm supposed to be. If it's coming from that place of pressuring yourself, I think it's not going to be worth it. And I think you just need to know, like, you have time. You have time, and there may be a more sustainable way of doing things, or a more like less hard on you, less burden on you way of doing things, less intense, less jarring. I do believe that there is an exciting opportunity coming for you, because we literally have opportunity, get ready. I think it's something that you've been wanting for a long time, but it's sort of coming in a different form than you expected, or in a different way than you expected. And this is going to be different for everyone, but one example is like, you always dreamed of reaching this career goal, and you imagined that you were going to do it like under someone, within a company, within a group, but then you're actually doing it yourself. You're actually doing it independently. That might actually be the case for a lot of you, because the Two of Wands is very independent, and like this Mars Aries energy is super independent. But the offer could be coming to you like from a different place than you expected, or you could be doing it with people when you thought you would have done it by yourself, or you're doing it by yourself when you thought you would have done it with people. There's something a little bit different about the way or the circumstances that it's coming to you, but I'm hearing like it makes more sense this way, and it feels more aligned this way. And it's very exciting. And something else about this opportunity is that it's going to give you a chance to see that, in fact, you actually are very gifted in a particular area, where you may have just assumed like, oh, that's not my strong suit. For my group number ones, there's something that you didn't consider to be strong at. You didn't consider that you would be able to excel in it. And I don't even feel this as a self-deprecating energy of like, oh, I'm so bad at this, I can't do it. It's like something you just neutrally thought, oh no, that's not my forte. Oh no, I'm not very good at that. That's not really my thing. And you're getting an opportunity to see that, in fact, you can and will excel in this area. Literally 11:11 as I'm saying that. So not only can you excel in this area, but you may actually be, well, I mean, that's what excel means, in the very high percentile of competency or of achievers in that field. And it may even be linked to something you are destined to do. So this is an exciting energy. Let's get into your tarot. I also feel in the rest of the year, because I do want to remember this is originally supposed to be Mercury, you may experience more ease with sorting out your feelings. If you're into astrology and you feel like checking this, I would look out for, because it's going to happen at least once in the rest of this year, that Mercury is making a favorable aspect to your moon sign. So that could be like a trine or a sextile, but when that happens in the rest of 2025, those could be particularly favorable windows where it is much easier for you to make sense of your emotions, verbalize your emotions, get them down on paper. And those are going to be very excellent guides for you charting your future course. And within that message is a piece of advice to allow your emotions to guide you in this next chapter of your career. I feel like this next chapter of your career, the previous chapters have been about doing what you have to do. Working hard and just getting done what needs to get done. This next chapter is about doing what you want to do, doing what you feel like doing, letting your emotions lead you in those decisions. And sometimes emotions can be murky, they can be clouded, but there's going to be several points in the rest of this year where you get like this sudden lucidity, I'm hearing, like the sudden illumination of, oh, this is how I feel. Oh, I can actually put this emotion into words now. Like, that weird nagging feeling that I had, I can actually put that into words. That vague anxiety that was simmering below the surface, I can put that into words now. That yearning, that sense of familiarity that I couldn't quite place, I know what that is now. So Mercury is going to be helping you do that in some way. Don't worry if you're not into astrology, just consider this your energy for the rest of 2025. But if you wanted to pinpoint like specific times that it's happening, I think it's going to be when Mercury, like transiting Mercury, is favorably aspecting your natal moon. Scorpions and owls could be a significant symbol for you. Scorpio placements or Scorpio season could be significant, which is the end of October to the end of November. One of the other symbols for Scorpio is an eagle, which, I mean, an owl is not an eagle, but it is a bird. So we have a scorpion and a bird. So, and Phoenix is also a sign of Scorpio, which is another bird. So yeah, Scorpio energy could be significant for this group. Also, this kind of peachy, I don't know what you would call this color, maybe coral, like the pinky orange color. That could also be a significant or a lucky color for you. It does make me think of sunrise. So there could be a message in there for some of you about waking up with the sun or like waking up early, if that's your thing. And I'm also noticing that both of these cards have some sort of portal or gateway on them. Like there's this doorway that you're walking through here, and then there's a gateway that you're walking through here. So there is like an exciting opportunity that leads to a transition into a new era of your career. And some of you could very well be easing into a new career journey. Again, it's like there's not this feeling of black and white, like cutting off one era and starting a new one. It feels like ease. It feels like gradual ease. What else do my group number ones need to know about their career in the rest of 2025? We have the Page of Pentacles. We have, okay, I am taking reversals because this came out in reverse, this came out in reverse, and they are supposed to be in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords in the upright. And we have the Hanged Man in the upright. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. I'm going to use the bottom of the deck energy as the sort of overarching theme or the end result of everything that's happening in your career in the rest of 2025. Six of Pentacles in the upright is a beautiful energy. First of all, what I'm actually picking up from this card is emotional stability. So the way your career is unfolding is going to lead to a great sense of emotional stability for you. And there is a very strong energy here as well of your efforts paying off. What you put in is what you are going to get out of it. The energy that you infuse into your work, into your creations, is what you are going to receive in return. There could be collaborations coming in. There could be assistance or help coming in for you. But I'm also hearing the word predictability. And I want to clarify what I mean by this, because I don't mean predictable as in like, oh, my job is just the same thing every day. Like it's boring, it's mundane, it's predictable in that way. I mean, the stability is predictable, the payoff is predictable. So for those of you who have had, let's say like your pay varies a lot from month to month and you can't always be sure that you're going to have enough money, that's going to become stable. It may still go up and down, but at least you're going to know that every month I have more than enough. Like, you know that you're getting enough hours, that you're getting enough shifts, that you're getting enough sales, that you're getting enough clients. Like, there may be shifts from week to week, month to month, but you always know that you're going to be taken care of. And that is really, really going to put your mind at ease. There's also a message here. Spirit wants you to know that you have built a very, very solid foundation. So, you know, temporary bumps in the road or taking a temporary pause from what you're doing cannot make a dent in the foundation that you have built. Yeah, that is an important message. And it goes back to the previous message of like your last chapter. You've worked so hard just doing what needs to get done. I feel like you've done the really hard work of building a foundation. And this next era is going to be more relaxed, more peaceful, more emotionally stable. I feel like there's a lot less uncertainty when it comes to your finances and when it comes to like the prospects of your career and your overall security. And I also just heard you're loving your career and now your career is loving you back. So maybe it's like you put a lot of love into a project, you put a lot of love into mastering a skill, and now it's loving you back. Like it's giving love and blessings right back to you. That's the feeling that I get with this Six of Pentacles. So you need to know with this Page of Pentacles in reverse, I think my group number ones, you tend to overall underestimate your skill level or like your competency in things or the value of what you bring to the table, because this Page of Pentacles in reverse, the phrase that I'm hearing is you are not a beginner. You know, there's a difference between being humble and being wrong. And I think sometimes you are just wrong about your skill level. I'm thinking of, I just learned about this recently. I forget what it's called, maybe the expert's curse. And it's something like that, expert's curse or something similar. It's this phenomenon where when you are highly skilled in something or highly knowledgeable in something, you tend to assume that everyone else is. And so what you might think is an average level of skill or an average level of knowledge is actually advanced. Like most people actually don't have that. And this is a phenomenon that like experts in a field can tend to struggle with. And I feel like in general for my group number ones, there are things that you assume like, oh, I'm just average at that. Or you might even think you're a bit below average at it. And just assume that everyone can do it same as you or better. And your guides are like, no. That's just wrong. Like, we're not even trying to flatter you. That is just objectively wrong. Like, you are more competent than you realize. You are more skilled than you realize. There's something that your guides are saying, like, stop calling yourself a beginner. Stop calling yourself average. For some of you, this could sort of step into imposter syndrome. But I think for a lot of you, it's just like, no, you are misinformed about the level of your skill. You are misinformed. Yeah, so start owning it. Start owning your strengths, start owning your skills, start owning what you are good at. For some of you, there may be a leveling up involved in the rest of this year. So, for example, a raise, a promotion, you raising your prices if you're self-employed, or ascending to the next level in a course, ascending to the next level in a skill, like going to the harder material basically, because you know that you can. Also, with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, this is kind of, I mean, I like this card either way, actually. They both have some beautiful messages to them, but I am getting the feeling for you that the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is going to be about like the wait is over. So, I wonder if these two messages go together. I think that in the rest of 2025, you are healing from this idea that, oh, I can't level up yet. I just need a bit more time to get better. When in fact, you know, I'm not saying you can't improve, because there's always room for improvement, but actually the level up you are wanting is the way that you will improve. You're gonna get better by accepting the opportunity to level up and being met with those new challenges. So you may be thinking of it a bit backwards, where it's like, I'm gonna learn more, I'm gonna train more, I'm gonna improve my skills more, and then I will be ready to level up. And your guides are saying like, no, you're ready for the level up now, because all of the skills and all of the knowledge you're seeking to gain are on the other side of that leveling up. So you may be going into it a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit feeling like, I'm not ready for this, but I'm hearing that's how it's done. Like, that is how people do it. And I'm seeing this example. This is probably what's coming to my mind because, like, I'm a musician, but I'm imagining a person watching a musician on stage and they're like, oh my gosh, they're so charismatic, they're performing so well. And then they're thinking like, I want to start performing too, but I have to get better first. And it's like the very person on stage that they're watching got to that level because they performed on stage and they just did that a lot. So it's like you're waiting to get better in order to do what you want to do, but doing what you want to do is how you get better. So you see how it's kind of like backwards in your brain. This is the vibe that I'm getting with these two cards. So this level up, that the opportunity to level up that is coming for you, you may feel not ready, but I believe that you are ready, group number one. I believe in you. Yeah, and then, I should have noticed this sooner, because right next to that we have the Nine of Swords in the upright, which is someone who is overthinking. Someone who's overthinking and someone who is expecting the worst. I also have a feeling that you may be hard on yourself when it comes to the mistakes that you make, but not hard on other people's mistakes. So if I can just go back to that same example of the person watching the performer on stage, if that performer makes a mistake, the person watching will be like, oh, that's okay. Like that's like part of the live experience. Like you get to see the imperfections. You get to see the humanness, and like nobody even noticed. We're just here enjoying the vibes, that's a good way to react to it. But if you make a mistake, oh my gosh, that was so dumb. Oh my gosh, how could I do that? Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible performer. I need to practice more, and like really get in your head. I bet everybody noticed. Meanwhile, nobody noticed. So there's an underestimation of your ability, and there's also a double standard of when other people make mistakes, no, they didn't. When I make mistakes, everybody noticed, and I shouldn't be here, and I'm a failure. And you could get really in your head with this. And the Nine of Swords can also talk about intrusive thoughts. So maybe in your heart of hearts, you know that you should cut yourself some slack, and you know that it's not that big of a deal, but sometimes with intrusive thoughts, you just can't help it. And they're relentless. And the Nine of Swords can often talk about sleepless nights or like keeping yourself awake in a cycle of thoughts. And in this scenario, it's kind of reminding me of that energy where you're up at night thinking about that mistake you made 3 years ago that everybody else forgot about. Oh my gosh, I still do that. Like I will replay social interactions from 5 years ago and be like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have made that comment. Like they probably thought that was rude. They probably thought I was annoying. And it's like, dude, they probably don't even remember talking to you. Like it's fine. So I'm very familiar with this energy, okay? Gemini placements, Mercury placements, my Gemini and Virgos, you get it. I think we all get it to some extent. I think we all overthink at some point, but yeah. And if you know this about yourself, if you know like, I tend to get anxiety or I tend to overthink, I tend to get nervous, that could also be something that is holding you back from taking the opportunity for this level up. But I think that there is a chance here to show yourself that you can rise above your nerves and rise above your intrusive thoughts, and that doing it is actually a way that you can ease those worries. Maybe you heal from the fear of making mistakes by doing the thing, doing a really good job sometimes, making mistakes sometimes, and realizing that at the end of the day, everything is fine, and that at the end of the day, you're receiving an amazing response. Maybe you don't wait until the fear is gone to do what you want to do, but you actually heal the fear by doing it. By doing it over and over and over. I also feel like this is your era of building confidence through action and building confidence through repetition. I know that I'm going to knock this out of the park because I've done it 100 times before. The most sturdy confidence will come through your repeated actions and through your practice, and the fears will get smaller and smaller. The nerves will get smaller and smaller. The inner critic's voice will get quieter and quieter. And yes, it does take time, but believe me, it really does. It really, really does. And you bounce back from the triggers much faster. Just this morning, like I woke up to some messages that in the past would have sent me spiraling, and I still feel that little pang of like anxiety, but I bounce back quicker. And I know you can too. Your brain is resilient and your brain is malleable and your brain will respond to data. If you show your brain over and over again, look, we did this hard thing and it was okay. Look, we did this scary thing and it was okay. Look, I did a brilliant fucking job in this project, in this performance with this client. Look, I made a mistake, but then I fixed it and it was okay. Look, we can do things. Your brain will respond to that. It may be a little bit stubborn at first, but it will get it. I believe in you and I believe in your beautiful and brilliant mind, group number 1. Okay, and then finally, we have the Hanged Man, and it makes sense that we see this card here because there was that message of easing into a transition. So there may be a point in the rest of this year where you feel like you are kind of in a limbo. You are easing out of a situation that you've outgrown and easing into something that is more desirable and that you want to be moving towards. And there may be some periods where you feel like you're in that awkward in between and like you're still not sure how and when it's all going to work out. But day by day, you are moving closer and closer. Day by day, you are doing it. I'm also hearing this is what the way there looks like. The way you are making moves is actually a very realistic progression. I think there's a lot of stories sold about overnight successes and breakthroughs. We don't really show the mundane parts because they're boring. but they're very much a part of the journey. The middle of the story is very, very important too, not just the beginning and the end, not just the milestones. So you may think like, oh, I'm in this in-between phase, like there's something wrong with my journey. And again, I'm hearing your guides say like, this is how it's done. I think there's a lot of things about your journey that are very normal and like very normal and natural and appropriate, and you're very much on the right track, but you feel like it's wrong because that's not, I don't know, that's not what's shown in the media, or like that's not what's shown online. But the way you're going about it is the right way to do it, and it's the normal or the standard way to do it. And it's okay. Like you don't need to go faster or harder or have more intense breakthroughs or whatever. It's like, I don't know how, I feel like I'm kind of dancing around the message, but the journey in your head, what you feel it should look like, is kind of like a sensationalized version, like the version that you sell on social media kind of thing. But what you're living through is very real and authentic and normal and in fact healthy. I'm going to trust that that makes sense for those of you it's meant for. Okay, is there anything else I want to do? Let's roll some dice because I feel like Spirit wants to give you a last message. Okay, I have taken 3 random dice from my dice bag. We have the Sun. We have Saturn. And we have the 11th house. Okay, so the 11th house can talk about long-term goals, long-term dreams and wishes. So I think that you're definitely moving in the right direction towards your big long-term dreams. Again, you are approaching them in a sustainable way, in a realistic way. You're approaching them with patience, in a very grounded and down-to-earth way. But you are definitely, what Spirit wants you to know is that you are definitely on the path that allows you to shine the most, and that allows you to use your gifts the best, in a way that best serves the collective and in a way that feels most natural to you. That's what you're currently doing, or that's what you're on the way to discovering. So I'm really reading this as just like a huge confirmation that you're on the right path. This is not in 2025, but this is making me think of Sun in Aquarius, because the 11th house is related to Aquarius and the planet of Saturn also rules Aquarius. So maybe a person with an Aquarius sun is significant to you, but Sun's going to be in Aquarius like in end of January to end of February. So technically that's 2026, not 2025, but that could be an important time for you. Aquarius sun, Taurus moon. That is like super specific combo, but that could be a combo for someone. Okay, anyway, group number ones. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch exclusive full-length pick-a-card readings just like the ones here on my channel. You can watch the extendeds for the readings we do here on YouTube, or you can watch both. So I'll have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Angelite, this is going to be a reading all about what is unfolding in your career from right now, the time that you're watching this, until December 31st, 2025. We are going to start off by looking at these. This is Oracle cards plus one tarot card, so we're going to look at these first, and then we are going to get into pulling some tarot cards. So let's get started. The first card for my group number twos is Mars Jupiter. I feel like these are in a different order than when I did group one, but that's fine. Then we have Queen of Wands. Stylish trendsetter, okay. Charming, confident, courageous, energetic, outgoing, visionary, strong, sexy. Then we have Moon Magic, transformation. Othala. And finally, Gavel, involvement with the law. Okay, I'm going to double check in the guidebook of this rune deck because I'm not 100% sure about Othala. Oh, I think it has to do with inheritance and like cherishing what has been passed down to you and improving it for those who will come after you. I think it's something like that, but I'm just gonna make extra sure because I'm still learning the runes. Okay. So it's on page 48 and 49. Look at the beautiful home the little hermit crab has inherited from the crab that came before him. If each generation treats this shell with delicacy and contributes their own positive acts of care, upkeep, and enhancement, the ancestral property will remain strong and give strength to the lineage going forward. Othala asks you to look at your place in time and space, both in terms of the inheritance coming to you and the inheritance you will leave behind. It calls for the wise management of resources. We're not going to worry about the reverse because it's not in reverse. The keywords are home, inheritance, group prosperity, heritage, and ancestors. That's a beautiful message. So when it comes to your career, it definitely seems like what you are working on is something you deeply care about, something that you are emotionally invested in, and something that you genuinely care about making better. So if this is your group, it definitely doesn't seem that you are in a job like just because it's a job, just because you need one, just because you need to pay the bills. That is a perfectly fine reason to have a job. Most of us need to have a job, but I feel like you are experiencing a deeper sense of personal connection with the work that you are doing. It feels like you have a deep respect for people in this field. There may even be specific individuals who are above you, so to speak, in this field, or who came before you, who laid a certain framework for you, whose contributions you benefit from. And so when you are contributing to this field, it's like you're honoring them. I do see you in a field that you likely know about its history quite well, and like know the major contributors quite well, or know of them and know their stories quite well. And I do think it's something you're passionate about. You care about really making it better, like leaving that field of work, leaving that area better than it, what am I trying to say? Better than it was before you got there. And opening doors and providing more opportunities for the people who will come after you. It's interesting because when I was reading that passage, I felt this sounds a lot like Cancerian energy, and this is a crab, and then like Jupiter's in Cancer right now. So engaging with your career this way could be a theme for you for the rest of 2025 and into 2026 as well, because Jupiter is going to be in Cancer until I think it's June or July of 2026, mid 2026. We'll say it like that. I feel as well with this Mars and Jupiter energy that actions that you're taking at this time, the results are going to be multiplied. And I'm seeing this visual in my mind's eye of someone putting a quarter into a gumball machine, and you know, they turn the thing and like 10 gumballs come out. So some of you could be getting a bonus, or you're getting much more payoff for your efforts than you are used to. This is the vibe that I'm getting. So you're gonna see the fruits of your labor multiplied. I'm also hearing the word yield, like the yield of something is a lot more than you expected. I'm seeing like an apple tree as well. I have no idea how many apples an apple tree usually produces in a season, but let's say you randomly, well, it's not random, it's divinely guided, but it might feel random or unexpected to you. Like, why do I have twice the apples this year compared to other years? Why did I get 10 gumballs out of the gumball machine? Like, I'm only supposed to get one. You're gonna feel lucky with how much things are paying off. And it does feel, it's like an outlier. It feels unexpected. Another example, maybe a more modern day one, is when you're like, oh, I just posted this online without thinking anything of it, and now there's like 1 million views on it. It's just this unexpected abundance, and it might feel like a fluke. It might feel like something that just happened by chance or you got lucky, but it's not. I feel like it's a sign from the divine, possibly even from your ancestors, that you are on the right path and you are helping a lot of people. The Queen of Wands here, she is described in this deck as a stylish trendsetter. She does have a pioneer sort of energy to her. You could very well be playing a role in starting a new trend or starting a new movement. I did just hear, and maybe this is just for some of you, but you're starting a movement of people giving a fuck. You're starting a movement of people caring more, of being more compassionate, of being more aware. Perhaps you help people to be more mindful, more intentional of what they're doing, of what the consequences of their actions, what they're leaving behind, you know, not just going through the motions. Something about the role that you're in, it helps people to be more compassionate towards themselves and each other. And I feel like creating a better world is very important to you if you chose this group. We also have words like courageous. We have words like visionary. So there is something you're doing that you're either one of the first, or like few people are brave enough or bold enough to do it or have the willpower to do it. So it's very, very impressive what you're doing. We do also have the word sexy. I don't know, maybe your confidence is sexy, or maybe there is something about like your physical appearance or fashion that has to do with your career. It could just be that you are magnetic. You know, I could translate this word a bit more broadly, that you are magnetic, that you command attention. I do get the sense that you will be in the forefront in some way. For those of you who do aspire to have a lot of eyes on you, I think that the Queen of Wands is a very good sign, but I know that not everybody wants that. It could be that you are like the head of something or the representative of something. So your words and how you express yourself carry a lot of weight. It could just be that people really value what you have to say and people really trust your decisions. And there's also a very uplifting quality to the Queen of Wands. I see her as the person who uplifts everyone around her. And also reminds the collective that there is more than enough for everyone. The Queen of Wands, how she feels to me, she's not someone who, she doesn't have to compete with anyone. She's not in competition with anyone. She's not worried about that. She knows that there's more than enough abundance for everyone, and that everyone deserves to be celebrated and everyone can have their successes. She doesn't buy into this, like, we have to be competing with each other and scarcity and we have to be comparing ourselves. She uplifts everyone. So I feel like this is a role that you are in. We do have transformation here as well. So maybe for some of you, this is part of a deep personal transformation where you are really stepping into your power and stepping into your purpose. We have two black dogs here. So any sort of canine creature, dogs, wolves, I think are foxes considered canine? I don't know, but foxes came to my mind as well. Those could be coyotes are also coming to my mind. One or multiple of those could be significant spirit animals for you. Also black cats, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, for example, the Queen of Wands has a black cat companion with her. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. My brain just made that connection. So canine creatures or black creatures could be like an empowering symbol for you. And this is also a really good sign for those of you who are wanting to do something quite different with your career. So you may see that transition happening in the rest of this year, or your guides want you to know that with what you're mentally and emotionally aligning with right now and the choices that you're making, you are well on your way to the transitions and the transformations that you want to see in your career. And then we also have gavel, involvement with the law. This could be very literal for some of you. Like you could be a lawyer, or you could be in some legal field, or your job could have to do with justice, like bringing justice for people or advocating for people or helping to create a more equitable world or more justice and equity in like the specific field that you are in. If you are in the process of going through any sort of legal situation, I do feel that it's going to be resolved in your favor. And this could also be a piece of advice. You may need to consult a lawyer for something in the rest of this year, especially if you have your own business, if you're going to start like offering services, or if you have some kind of intellectual property, if you are going to be signing any contracts, it may be a good idea to consult with a lawyer to make sure that you're protected and that there's nothing fishy going on. Okay, so let's shuffle and pull some tarot cards for you. I don't quite know if this is going to happen in the rest of 2025. Maybe not for everyone, but I do feel at some point in your future, like you're getting to meet or even like sit down and have a conversation with someone in your professional field whom you really respect. And for some of you, this is going to be a person that you kind of feel a connection to in some way. So this is just one example. Of course, apply it to your situation. But let's say you are a woman and there's not a lot of women in the field that you're in, and this like highly respected person that you really look up to is also a woman, and maybe she even has like similar story as you, similar background as you. There's like certain things that make you personally identify with this person, which just makes it even more of a joy to get to. Yeah, I feel like you are getting to have some kind of exchange and like sit down with them. It's more than just shaking their hand. It's like you get to talk to them a little bit, at least tell them how much they have impacted you. There is also a message coming through because I feel like you are getting really passionate about something that you're working on or something that you're studying or like a cause that you're involved with. This may lead to forgetfulness like in other areas of your life. So, for example, you are so focused, like nothing serious, nothing bad, but just something to keep in mind. Like you're so focused on your work that you left wet clothes in the washing machine for like 3 days and now it smells bad. Like just little, things slipping your mind. I forgot to check the mail. Oh my gosh, I forgot that this person was coming over. I need to clean the house. Just, little things slipping your mind because you're so focused in your work. Oh shit, it was my friend's birthday yesterday and I didn't text them. That kind of thing. What can group number 2 expect in their career? Also, make sure that you're not forgetting important appointments, either like to go to them or to book them. Could be like a doctor appointment, dentist appointment, some kind of routine checkup. We have the 5 of Pentacles. I do want to mention that we're taking reversals today, but this came out in the upright. The 2 of Pentacles in the upright. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, lots of Earth energy. Wow. 4 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. So all of your cards are pentacles. That's crazy. The bottom of the deck energy is going to represent the overarching theme or sort of the end result of everything that's happening in the rest of this year. Please let me know, like, if you have a lot of Earth in your chart, like if you have a lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or what all this Earth is. You know what it could be, because Earth represents the tangible, physical reality. This could be that you're going to start to see a lot of things physically manifesting in the rest of this year. A lot of your intentions, a lot of your goals. I'm also hearing a lot of your predictions. Okay? So a lot of things you intended to manifest, you're going to start to see those sprouts coming out of the ground. Ooh, I have to change the card because we're running out of time. I'll be right back. Hello again. So as I was saying, yes, seeing a lot of like the seeds of your intentions starting to sprout, and things that you predicted would happen. So these are not necessarily things that you had a hand in creating, but that you had an intuitive sense. I feel like the tides are going to shift in this way. I feel like this person is going to say or do XYZ. I feel like this event is going to happen in the world. Maybe you can feel these shifts. I have this visual of Are they called tectonic plates moving? Oh, that's like the earth too. You are deeply attuned to the subtle movements of the earth. You are deeply attuned to the breathing of the trees, I heard, okay? You pick up on the subtle energies and the subtle vibrations of the earth. And sometimes this gives you a sense of what's going to happen. And I'm hearing for some of you, like, it's kind of funny to you because people will say, like, oh my gosh, how did you know that? You're so insightful. You're like, are you psychic? Oh my gosh, how did you know that? And you're like, I was just paying attention. Like, if you pay attention to patterns and if you listen and if you feel the earth, you know these things. You know what's going to happen. This also feels like ancestral wisdom too. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that earth could represent. Earth can also represent, of course, money, stability, security. So financial security could be coming in for you in the rest of this year. I have a feeling that what you're going to see in the rest of 2025 is only a fraction of the financial abundance you will eventually receive, because the Knight of Pentacles does have a feeling of it trickling in slowly but steadily. For those of you who have had financial struggles, it feels like you are slowly but surely getting out of them, and your savings, you will kind of see them creeping up week by week, month by month, and going up, 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 up. Like, it's slow, but it's steady, and it's also very reliable. It's on a steady incline. There could be some expenses that are getting reduced in the rest of this year. Or, yeah, you're finding ways to save money. Something about this image, it looks like he's dropping the pentacles as he's walking. And it kind of reminded me of like when you have, for example, charges to your credit card of some subscription that you haven't used in months. And so you could be noticing like, oh, I don't use this anymore, I can cancel this. Or, oh, I've been spending more on my electricity bill than I have to because of this thing that's plugged in. Just little things here and there that when added up could drastically reduce your expenses. Some of you could be changing your cell phone plan. Any options that are way more affordable could be presenting themselves to you. And it's this feeling of, it's not like you're downgrading, but just any money that you're spending unnecessarily. Like, you don't have to be spending that much to get what you need. I think the universe is going to show you like, hey, there's this other option here. Yeah. And there may be some financial burdens that are getting removed from you, which is very nice. Okay, yeah, definitely, because I'm just noticing like we have the Five of Pentacles here. This is reminding me of, we did a reading on Instagram for Leo season, and one of the groups got this card because I used the same deck for the Leo season reading. And I was pointing out how the key is right here. The key to open this door is right here. And it was giving me the sense of someone who knows how to solve their problem. It's just that they don't have the means. And the example I gave in that Instagram reading was someone whose phone is dead. It's like, obviously they know I have to charge my phone, but if they don't have access to a charger, there's nothing they can do. So I feel like there are a lot of things, you're not in this energy of like, oh, I'm struggling and I don't know what to do to improve my life. I think you know very well and very specifically what you need to thrive and what you need in order to get where you want to go, but you're like lacking the resources or lacking the practical means to do that. And so I think that in the rest of this year, Spirit's going to be showing you an alternate way. Because when I saw the Two of Pentacles upright followed by the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the very first thing that came to my mind is there is more than one way. Like there is not just one way to do this. There's two or even more. And the example that came to my mind for some reason, of course, apply this to your own situation, was a scholarship. Like someone applied for a scholarship and they didn't get it, but then there's another scholarship that they can apply to and they can get it. So if something doesn't work out and you don't get the resources that you needed, or you don't get the assistance or the opportunity that you needed, Spirit's promising to you that another door is going to open. And don't ever think like this is the only way, or like it must be this way, because when something wants to get to you, it's gonna get to you. That's very interesting. So there's money and resources that want to be in your hands, that want to be used by you. Because in this case, it's a tool for you to grow and expand and make meaningful changes. So the resources will be allocated. The divine is going to make sure of that. And the divine is not afraid of a closed door. Like, oh, that one's closed. Good thing we have 36 other doors to offer you. So I think in the rest of this year, you're going to find an alternate way to make your goal happen. Or you're going to find an alternate way to get the resources you need. The Two of Pentacles can also talk about an additional source of income presenting itself to you. So it can have like second job or side hustle energy. I don't know if that's like if you want to have another job or want to have a side hustle. But what I can say is that it's an indication of you receiving money outside of your main income source. Like it's coming in through a different avenue. And I think Spirit's going to be showing you these different avenues where you can get what you need. Yeah, and then we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And this is a feeling of loosening your grip. And I want to be really careful with this, because this is not like Spirit saying, just let go of your desire, or like just let go of the outcome that you want. But rather, don't hold on to it so tightly that when one way doesn't work out, it's like the end of the world and you feel very discouraged and you want to give up. Always remember that there's another way, and I will show you. So maybe this loosening of the grip, it's not about loosening the grip on your desire, but maybe on the avenue that it comes through. That's more so the feeling that I'm getting. I also feel with this Four of Pentacles in reverse that you won't have to be as frugal as you once were. There's definitely a feeling of more disposable income and not having to budget so strictly, or maybe not having to budget at all eventually, depending on where you're at currently in your financial journey. And there is something about like the word irregular. There could be a lesson here in the rest of this year and beyond about embracing your body and your spirit's natural fluctuations, and realizing that you can surrender to them and still enjoy a steady stream of income coming in. For those of you who, like, due to physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, circumstantial reasons, whatever it is, struggle to meet the demands of like a conventional job or the modern day workforce, if you struggle to meet those demands, you still deserve financial security and even wealth and abundance. And Spirit's going to be showing you that you can honor the fluctuations of your energy, and you can honor the rhythm of your body and what it needs, and you can honor your unique mind and mental state, even if that's not always consistent and not always stable. and still enjoy a stable income. That is something that you deserve. The last thing I want to do is pull some dice from our dice bag. I'm just going to take 3 random ones. And this is going to be your final message from Spirit. We have the number 3. We have Capricorn. Okay, someone could be a Scorpio rising. And we have Virgo. Someone could be a Cancer rising as well. And isn't it so funny that all of these cards are pentacles, and then the 2 zodiac signs that come out are earth signs, Capricorn and Virgo. Yeah, please do let me know if you have a lot of earth placements, or maybe like the houses in your birth chart that are earth signs are going to be very blessed in the rest of this year. There could also be like an earth sign person who is very important to you. The number 3, 3rd house, this can talk about communicating your ideas. Some of you could be writing a book, or you could be journaling. You could have a blog, or I'm thinking of like journalism. I'm thinking of research papers. I'm thinking of think pieces, blog posts, bodies of writing. I'll say it like that. You could be reading a lot of bodies of writing, reading a lot of books, or writing them yourself, or being a lot more like in active discussion about ideas with people in your community, people in your field. Something else you may also notice is that people are becoming a lot more curious about what you do. So, for example, let's say usually when you go to gatherings with your family, they're just like, how's work? Good? Oh, that's nice. Anyway, I talked to my neighbor Deborah yesterday. You know, they don't really go deep with what you're doing. But then the next time you see your family, they're asking a lot of questions about the work that you do, and you're like educating them about it, and you can see that they're genuinely interested. Feeling that people are more curious and interested in the work that you do and wanting to learn more about it. I imagine if you're passionate about what you do, that this will bring you a lot of joy. There may even be someone close to you who gets inspired by you to enter into the same field. I'm thinking of like a friend or a sibling, or just a family member in general. That's beautiful. Is there anything else with the 3rd house? I'm hearing ripple effect, and don't underestimate the impact that you are making. Even if you help one person, that one person could go on to help 10 people, and those 10 people go on to help 10 people. Like, just remember about the ripple effect, and don't feel small. With Capricorn and Virgo here, I feel like something about you as well is, I do get the sense that you're gonna rise up pretty high in your field, and I'm hearing that you are rising up for the right reasons. You are not rising up in your field for the vanity of it. I think there's nothing wrong with wanting power and respect and a good reputation and things like that. But if you are striving for the top of a company or the top of a field solely for that reason, it feels a little bit empty or superficial, right? And I feel like the only reason you would want to rise up to higher and higher positions is if you feel like, I can help more people in this higher position. I can serve people better in this higher position. I feel like you have a humility about you where it's like, I just want the collective to be helped the best way possible, even to the point that if you felt that someone else could do that better. It's like I would rather that person take the higher position than me, because I feel like they're in that unique role, like their unique gifts would help the collective more. And I think you have a really good sense of where your unique gifts are best utilized. You definitely have this mind of service. That's the feeling that I'm getting. However, even if it's not like directly what you're aiming for, I do have the feeling that that is going to propel you up pretty high within your company or within the field that you are in, especially because you are coming through as this queen and you're coming through as like a pioneer and a leader. And, you know, this is kind of going back to one of the earlier messages of you getting to meet someone you really look up to and respect. And I feel like one day you're going to be that person for someone else. And it's like a full circle moment. Yeah. Okay, group number 2, I think those are all the messages for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch exclusive full-length pick-a-card readings just like this one. You can watch the extendeds of the readings we do here on YouTube. You can watch both. So I'll have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. Yeah, that's an original song. And I also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and your ancestors, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Bumblebee Jasper, this is going to be your reading all about your career from now, the time that you're watching this, until December 31st, 2025. I didn't say this for the other groups, but I feel very called to say it for you. I want to mention the color of your crystal. You chose a yellow stone, and I feel like the color of yellow or gold could be a lucky color for you. Also, citrine is coming to my mind. That's another like yellowish, goldish stone. That color or crystals of that color could bring you good luck. Pyrite is another one coming to my mind. There could also be a message about you winning a gold medal, or like winning a trophy, winning an award, or just like coming in first, winning some kind of contest or competition. Something else that is coming through. This is very specific, so it's maybe just for like a couple people who chose this group, but I'm getting the feeling of a spirit guide who is like a fun, quirky auntie. Like that's the vibe that I'm getting from her, and who just wants you to have fun and just wants you to have a good time and is always there to hype you up. You are going to feel a spirit guide's presence. It kind of feels like this spirit guide is behind me, but very close to me. I'm personally feeling them on the right side of me, but they might appear somewhere else for you. But kind of like, you know, behind you, maybe rubbing your shoulders or giving you that little push forward that you need. And their biggest message for you is like, don't be nervous, just go out there and have fun. So maybe you have to do something in your career that makes you a bit nervous, that gives you jitters, that gives you stage fright or some sort of performance anxiety. And yeah, this is what I mean by quirky auntie. Like it's someone being like, just pretend that everybody's in their underwear. You know, kind of saying corny things like that. And oh my gosh, it's not that serious, honey. Like you're gonna do an amazing job. It's funny that I said honey because you chose Bumblebee Jasper. And honey is also golden. And I'm also thinking of honeybee. Anyway, this kind of fun spirit guide is around you. Okay? This is the vibe that I'm getting. And I do feel like you are going to do your best work when you are having fun. I know that not everything in our work is fun, but I'm picking up on this specific energy where you're able to take the pressure off yourself. It's like, forget about whether or not you win. Forget about whether or not you, I don't know, you close the deal. Forget about whether or not you pass. Forget about whether or not you impress people, and just enjoy yourself and just be in the moment. And ironically, it's then that you do the best job and you do win, or you do pass, or you do get accepted. Putting the focus on your enjoyment and just trusting that you shine. Just trusting that you shine bright like the sun, because you do. You're going to do an amazing job. Yes, I'm seeing so much yellow and gold. Sunflowers are coming to my mind as well. It's a really beautiful and uplifting color, a really uplifting energy to have around you. Okay, so let's get into your cards. We're going to take a look at these first. This is oracle cards with one tarot card mixed in, and then we're going to shuffle and pull cards from a tarot deck after that. So for my group number 3s, we have Howl at the Moon, process your feelings. We have the Lovers, divine union, deep connection, relationships, alignment, openness, romance, harmony, choices, duality, and love. We have Mercury Chiron with the number 25. That's also unique to your group, because I didn't even mention the numbers in the other group. So maybe 25 is an important, I mean, we're reading for the year 2025, so that makes sense. But that could be a significant number, or like the age of 25. We have algaes, or I don't know how to say any of these, but that's what we have. And we have frying pan, trouble and accusations. So this card is really sweet because it can talk about a protector or a guardian. And I think that's so beautiful that we opened this reading with the presence of a spirit guide. And I feel like this card is definitely confirming it. I am feeling called to read this one from the guidebook to see if it has any other messages for you. So this is on page 30 and 31. The king stag stands proud and tall with mighty antlers. Okay, right away, the fact that this is a king, I feel like that's adding to the message of you winning something, or coming in first place, or being victorious. He bestows his protection on all his kingdom. Leading by example, the stag teaches the young how to show courage in the face of danger. Algae's energy brings a powerful connection to divine consciousness. This rune is an aid to speak and commune with spirit and the higher powers. In a reading, it references a connection with the gods and an awakening. You have been granted divine protection that is also a teaching force, and you are encouraged to be in a state of listening. We're not going to worry about the reverse interpretation because we're reading it upright. And the key words are protection, defense, courage, independence, and higher self. I just heard like the gods have smiled upon you. You have a lot of divine protection and a lot of divine encouragement with you at this time, and your success and your victory is assured. This spirit guide that I was picking up on at the beginning of the reading, again, this is not going to be for everyone, but if it sounded like someone you knew in this lifetime, like someone who passed away, I want to confirm to you that that's who, yes, it was them coming through. So let us look at our cards. Very interesting that we have the Lovers here. So you could be forming some really beautiful relationships at your place of work, or just in your field in general. This can talk about a beautiful sense of community, feeling supported, and feeling like you have good influences around you. And what I mean by this is not just people who influence you to work harder and be more productive, but also people who influence you to take care of yourself, people who influence you to check in with yourself. So like boss, coworkers, teammates, whatever it might be, who regularly check in with you and say like, hey, how are you doing? How do you feel about the direction we're going? How do you feel about our future? How are your energy levels? Like, what's going on with you? If there's anything you ever want to talk about, just let me know. Like, people who are genuinely here for you. Like, yes, they appreciate you because of the work that you do, but they also appreciate you because you're you. You know, they care about you beyond just the role you fulfill within a company or the services you provide to people. So I think what's coming in for you in the rest of this year is like work connections with like people who genuinely make you feel cared for and supported. This could also be an indication of deepening a bond with someone in your workplace. I'm hearing team building. Like sort of building your personal bond a bit more, and then that makes you work better together. I know that this is not for everyone, but it could indicate like a workplace romance. Take it if it resonates. Like I said, that's not going to be for everyone, but there could be someone you work with or someone who is in your field that you have a romance with, or this could be a message that your journey in love and your journey in your career are somehow intertwined. I don't know if you did watch the love life predictions for the rest of 2025, but there could be messages there for you as well. And then we have this howl at the moon, process your feelings, and a crow cawing outside as soon as I said that. So crows could be a significant symbol for you, which is very interesting because for me, crow is a sign of a specific passed on loved one, my grandfather. So that could be another confirmation of the energy of a passed on loved one being with you. There is a need to be raw and real and honest about your feelings and just get them out. Whether it's positive or negative, it is not helping you to hold it in. I made a video about this not too long ago that it's quite sad how like manifestation spaces and new age spaces can sometimes unfortunately make us feel like we are wrong for having feelings. For example, if we get really excited about something, that means we're too attached. That means we want it too badly, and somehow wanting it too badly means we won't get it. If we're upset about something, that means we're in a low vibration and we're going to manifest bad things. It's like you're shamed if you feel good, you're shamed if you feel bad. Not always and not everywhere, but that way of thinking is present in some places. And unfortunately, a more toxic form of spiritual practice could lead to us suppressing our emotions. And here, this card is encouraging you to let them out. So if you want something really bad, you go ahead and want it really bad. If you're really excited and passionate about something, you go ahead and be excited and passionate about it. If you're really pissed off because something didn't work out the way you wanted to, be pissed off. If you're heartbroken over a loss, be heartbroken. Because there is information in those emotions. If you express them, this is really, really weird. It's like a very specific visual. I'm seeing a fire burning. And you have to let the fire burn and completely burn out. And then in the ashes, you see an arrow pointing in a certain direction. But it's like you can only see it after the fire burns out. And I guess it's a visual representation of You feel that emotion so intensely until it burns out, and then what's left there is a piece of guidance. It's a, hey, go this way, hey, go that way. So you ate the fruit of the emotion, and then in the pit there was a message for you. There was a piece of valuable information for you. Very interesting visuals and analogies coming to my mind right now. Yeah, if you go to the core of them, they will tell you where to go. I also want to point out the contrast between these two images. Here we have the wolves facing away from each other, and here we have the people facing towards each other. So if you have some very strong or intense emotions surrounding a union or surrounding a separation, expressing those emotions will give you wisdom. And I'm hearing take it to the very end. I don't know what that means. I guess like if the emotion is a wave, you ride the wave to the very end. Yeah. We have Mercury and Chiron. That's actually very interesting as well, because Mercury is expression and Chiron can talk about healing wounds. So, and the Lovers also has associations with Mercury, as you can see here, because it's related to the sign of Gemini. So very, very strong messages here that expressing your, we know this, expressing your emotions will lead to healing, and expressing your emotions will bring you clarity, epiphanies, answers about what direction to take your career. Sometimes when we are wounded or when we are living in survival mode, we make decisions that are not really in alignment. We make them for a perceived sense of safety, a perceived sense of control. We make decisions to meet someone else's expectations. We make decisions for validation. We make decisions because it's what we think we quote unquote should do. So unprocessed emotions or unhealed emotions could be kind of fucking with your career compass. And showing up in a way that is not as authentic or not as aligned as you could be. And once you clear those out of the way, you will see the way forward much more clearly. Okay? And then finally, we have trouble and accusations. What I want to say with this is that if there is anyone in your workplace who's trying to like pin something on you or trying to blame something on you, it's not going to work. The truth and the facts will be in your favor. Some of you could be going through a situation of redemption in your career where like maybe you were blamed for something that went wrong, and then the truth comes out and it is proven that in fact that was not your fault. Okay, this is a really specific example, but it's like if your boss told you to do something and then you did it and it had a bad result, and then your boss is like, why did you do that? And you're like, you told me to. And they're like, no, I didn't. And then you find the old emails where they very much did tell you to do that. And then they look like an ass. Okay, so some of you are getting some kind of redemption like that. But also another interpretation that I personally see with this card is things that used to trigger you not triggering you anymore. Things that used to get to you not getting to you anymore. So I think there's a lot of healing and just emotional rebalancing and recalibration that is happening for you. And going back to that yellow and gold light, I'm hearing let it enter your body. Let it enter your body, and that will be healing. When there's darkness, you don't need to kill the darkness. You don't need to chase away the darkness. You just need to turn a light on, and then the darkness is gone. Okay, so let's get into your tarot cards now. Your Chiron placement may be inviting you to spend time with them, look into them a bit more. You can, maybe you already know where your Chiron is. You can find Chiron sign calculator online. My Chiron is in Virgo. But finding out what sign it is, what house it is if you know your birth time, and just like reading a little bit about that placement if you feel called to. If not, no worries. But if that's resonating with you, your Chiron placement may have something to say. Some of you could have like in your birth chart, Mercury and Chiron are aspecting each other. Okay, we are going to take reversals for this part. That's what I've been doing. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you are getting a new team to work with. Like, going back to this Lovers card, how I was talking about, you know, loving and supportive people, people who uplift you, people who genuinely care about you. Some of you are maybe listening to that and you're like, that does not sound like the people I'm working with. So I feel like for some of you, you are getting a new team, or you're being placed into a new team. If you're wanting to change jobs, I feel like this is a really big sign of that. Getting out of a work environment, like a toxic work environment, or just getting out of somewhere with a bad vibe. Maybe it's like, it could be so many different things. Maybe you're just moving to a different department within your company, and that department has so much better vibes and is so much nicer. This could be someone you don't get along with quitting or getting fired or something like that. Bad eggs being removed. I'm like smelling a bad smell. I don't know. It kind of smells like garbage. So maybe it's like a bad egg, a rotten egg, a bad influence in your workplace and your environment is being removed. Three of Pentacles in reverse also feels like toxic productivity. So if you have internalized a mindset of toxic productivity, I feel like you're going to be healing that. And anyone who was trying to enforce that on you is going to be removed. No more overworking you, no more toxic productivity, no more tying our self-worth to productivity. We're leaving that in 2025. Like, that's not coming with us to the new year. For those of you who have family members who have contributed to, like, for example, tying your self-worth to your accomplishments, to your academic successes, to how far you get in your career, to what your job is. If family members have contributed to those wounds and those expectations and pressures placed on you, you may find that those family members are now softening and maybe even apologizing, or yeah, it feels like their energy is softening. This is not me saying like you should or shouldn't forgive them or how to proceed, just that you might notice their energy is shifting, and they may, like, someone might be admitting that they were too hard on you. There's this healing of the truth coming out that something wasn't your fault, or another person admitting that it was their fault. We have the Empress in the upright. That's beautiful. In this deck, the Empress is depicted as a pregnant person. So maybe this is, oh, maternity leave. I was going to say, I don't know how pregnancy relates to work, but maybe someone is going on maternity leave or a parental leave, or maybe someone works with, like, I'm thinking of nursing, like working with expecting mothers or working with new mothers or working with parents or working with families. That could be the case for some of you, working with children. The Empress is actually a beautiful card to get in a career reading, well, in any reading, but she is associated with the planet of Venus, and Venus deals over like money and favorable business negotiations. I think that, again, like you're very supported, and I don't know how to say this. I don't know if there's even a word, like a specific word for this in English, but I don't know, just like people inside your company and people outside your company. So, for example, this message, it's not just that your coworkers love you and support you, it's also the people outside of your company, like clients from a different company. Your immediate circle and the wider community love you and support you and are uplifting you. You are making a very good impression in any sort of negotiations or meetings or presentations. People are listening to you. Some of you maybe, and I want to be very clear that this is an energy leaving your life, but I'm picking up on this energy of someone who would shut down your ideas just because like they have something weird against you, even though it's objectively a good idea. And this is like, it's pissing me off because it's like, this is a good idea, but you would rather shut it down and hold the whole team back by not implementing this good idea just so that you can do a power move on group number 3. Like, that's giving toxic work environment. I don't know if that's for everybody, but Spirit's definitely working on moving you to a new environment where your ideas are really nurtured. And even if your idea is not the best, or even if your idea is not fully formed, you're surrounded by people who can say, okay, like your idea is not fully formed, but I feel like there's something in there. So let's work on it together. Like, let's take your seed of an idea and see where it goes. Let's work on it a little bit. If you feel this is important, you know, not just, that's not going to work, let's throw it out. We didn't try it yet. Let's try it. Let's nurture it together. Aw. I'm happy for you, group number 3. This is what you truly deserve. And yeah, let me know if like a love, a romance with like someone relating to your work resonates for you, because the vibes are there. But yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be romantic love. This corner is a bit higher, so... Oh my god. The Knight of Cups in the upright. Love is in the air. I don't know. What can I say? The Lovers, the Knight of Cups, and the Empress. I once got a comment that was like, I hate when tarot readers talk about like romance in the workplace. It's so weird and creepy. And I would ask that person, how would you interpret these cards? Like, I would have to be reaching so much to avoid talking about love and romance in this situation. So You know, take it how it resonates. Okay, it doesn't have to be someone in your literal workplace. It can be maybe a coworker introduces you to someone. Maybe you have a work party and someone brings their friend and you hit it off with the friend. Or maybe you end up working on a project and this person is also on board with the project. You know, this can be interpreted in different ways, but it definitely seems like your love life is tying into this. And even in this particular deck, the Knight of Cups is literally offering you a bouquet of roses. Like, come on, looking all sultry. Someone with a tattoo sleeve could be significant. And that is reminding me, I didn't say it out loud, but when I was reading from the rune guidebook, it said that this rune makes a worthy tattoo for defenders and protectors from all walks of life. And I was like, tattoo. Like, I wonder if tattoos are significant. And then here we have someone with a full sleeve. So tattoos could be significant. More messages about being loved, being supported, and also your workload becoming a lot more manageable, and the pace of your work becoming much more sustainable. Some of you are coming out of an era of working very, very hard, and honestly, I think you handled it very well, but in the back of your mind, there's this feeling of, I can't do this forever. You know, like I can do it for now, but this level of workload or this fast pace is not sustainable. So things are slowing down to be more, I often feel like a leisurely pace with the Knight of Cups. More leisurely, more manageable. Some of you could have flexible hours in your schedule, so you don't have to like wake up at the crack of dawn and rush to get on the train, or you know, rush to work early so that you can find parking or so that you can avoid the morning rush hour. You don't have to worry about all of that stressful stuff. You can wake up, maybe you can wake up an hour later and make a coffee and drink it outside peacefully and not look at your phone. It's becoming more peaceful and less like, do this right now. Sit on the crowded train with all of these germs and sit in bumper to bumper traffic, you know, like some hectic or stressful energy is going away. Okay, what corner is higher? It literally looks exactly sideways. Maybe this is a tiny bit higher. We have Page of Wands in the upright. That's beautiful. Renewed vitality, renewed physical energy. More variety. There's more variety in what you're doing. You feel creative again. This is making me very emotional. You're reconnecting with your creativity slowly but surely, because it's like you're slowly but surely healing from a period where your voice wasn't heard or your ideas weren't valued. You know, if you've been in an environment like that for a long time, and you're like suddenly placed into this new supportive environment, and they're like, okay, show us all your ideas now, go. Tell us your ideas, be creative, go. Like it might not come out right away. And maybe that's why this was like sideways. You have to learn how to trust again, like trust that my ideas will be heard, trust that my creativity will be received and supported and nurtured and valued here. So it's not like an overnight thing, but it feels like slowly but surely you're reconnecting with your creativity and reconnecting with the truth that like, yes, I do have magic in me. Like what I create is beautiful. What I birth into this world is beautiful, and people want to see it and people want to hear it. That's lovely. And also like Page of Wands, it's new beginnings, it's a new adventure, it's fun, which we've been talking about. At the bottom of the deck, we have the freaking Emperor. So again, what do you say when the Empress and the Emperor are appearing in a reading with the Lovers and the Knight of Cups? It looks like romance to me. It looks like a couple to me. Okay? I like that the Emperor is holding that's a king chess piece, I think. That would make sense. I mean, it could be a message about balancing masculine and feminine energies. But the couple energy is coming through very strongly here. So yeah, I have been doing this for the other groups where the bottom of the deck energy represents like an overarching theme or the end result of all of this. And the end result for you is that you're going to feel like yourself again, and you're going to feel empowered. This person has a tattoo as well on their arm. So I do feel like tattoos are somehow significant. Some of you could be even like getting a tattoo to represent your healing, or to kind of remind you who you are. That's funny. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday. It was like I guess you could call it a healing session. Like the coach was talking to the person, the mentor was talking to the mentee and sort of working them through their healing journey. And then I think like the next day she got a tattoo and was like, I've changed and this tattoo will remind me. And it was really sweet. So something like that could be happening for you. I'm also noticing that we have a lot of people wearing yellow, which is your color. This person, well, it's like a yellowish brown. They're wearing yellow bottoms, a yellow jacket, yellow pants, and we know yellow and gold is your lucky color. I don't know why this part of my arm feels sore, like it's been working a lot. I don't know. Does that happen when you're writing? Maybe it's from shuffling, but oh, probably. Yeah. But maybe you are like doing something with your hands in this job, or it can lead to a soreness of some kind. Okay, for our last messages from Spirit, we have the number 10. Thank you, that's very literal. Talks about your career. We have Virgo. You could have a Virgo midheaven. You could be a Sagittarius rising. And we have 12. Libra rising could be as well, like Virgo in the 12th house. 10, Virgo, and 12. Okay. How do I say this? Once things get settled in your career, it's like the level of healing or the depth of healing that you experience may be unexpected. So there's this realization of like, wow, I didn't realize how important this was to me. Being in the job that I want, or being in this like good environment. Of course you knew it was important to you, but maybe it's healing you in ways that you didn't expect, or it's healing you deeper than what you expected, or it's healing wounds that you thought were unrelated. So for example, you're in this beautiful work environment and then suddenly you feel healed from something in your childhood. And you're like, wow, I didn't realize that the positive experiences I'm having now would heal little me, or, oh, I didn't realize that wound was still there, but my new work situation is healing it. Like, I didn't realize how deep that healing could go. Or getting out of an unfavorable work environment, and then once you feel better, realizing like, oh shit, I didn't realize how much the old environment was fucking me up, but like, I feel like myself again, I feel good again, and comparing that to what I felt like, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, wow, I was in a bad place. I feel like sometimes our brain hides from us when we are struggling, or even when we're going through bad anxiety or bad depression, or we just become so used to it that that feels like our normal. That when we start feeling better and start feeling back to ourselves, we realize the depth of the healing that just took place. And in contrast, how challenging it was what we were going through before. So yeah, I think this is talking about healing beyond your expectations. So those are all the messages for my group number 3s. I feel like my hands are very warm right now. That could also be, again, a message of working with your hands. Be sure to moisturize your hands. You may, I don't know if this is related to your career or not, but it might be nice to get a little massage sometimes, or just a little self-care treat sometimes. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch full-length exclusive pick a card readings like this one. You can watch the extendeds of the readings we do here on YouTube, and you can watch both of those, exclusives and extendeds, and that will be linked down below. And you can check out my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!